So cool. Oh gosh, Caleb, look, I think a tornado's coming. You said this is the most expensive thing here? Oh. What is then? Well, welcome back to the channel, guys. We are at one of my favorite places in Huntsville because I am a space nerd, which is the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. I'm actually getting a little sneak peek sort of today because I have my favorite person in the world here with me today, Caleb. And he actually works here and has worked here for a few years now. So he's going to kind of give me the ins and outs of everything because I'm going to need it because this place is massive. But as you see, we are here at the Rocket Park, but we're actually going to head to the entrance and go in the right way and kind of show you what all this place has and why Huntsville is known as the Rocket City. Gorgeous. So walking up to the entrance, they have all these little things which are to scale of the solar system. So Pluto and whatnot, they were way back there, but here we come to Saturn. It just shows you some pictures of it, the little replica scale of it. I think it says this is in diameter of the sun, and then just some facts about it. But we're gonna keep making our way up to the entrance here. Ooh, look at that rocket. I love it. So this is one of my favorite spots. This is the grave of Miss Baker, who she was a little squirrel monkey that was the first U.S. animal to fly in space and return alive. And everybody always puts bananas on the top of her grave. And right beside her is her hubby, old George. He doesn't get no bananas. Poor George. But Miss Baker does. Ooh. So right when you come in, you get to the gift shop. And I want to buy everything. Especially those jackets. I want those jackets. And I want those shirts. And I want those shirts. And I want all that. And all that. I want it all.
I got you. I say it probably 1,000 times a day.
Alright, we are headed into the museum. Starts off, ooh, look at the cute little planets over there. Starts off already futuristic looking. The space craze. We've got all sorts of artifacts here. I guess we'll go the opposite and start this way and work over. I wouldn't mind having some of those plates. Those are pretty cool. A little coin bank there. Oh, a little game. How cute is that? There's a record. Okay, there's a moon record. And some little card games. I bet. That's a jigsaw puzzle. Oh yeah, that is a Lego one. That's pretty cool. It's even got the little lunar module in it. And the little capsule coming back down. Do you know who's who without looking?
I know the names, I can't tell you which is which.
Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, Michael Collins. It's got all sorts of artifacts. Astronaut Barbie. A little Cabbage Patch astronaut. So what is this exhibit called?
This is the Dare to Explore exhibit.
Dare to Explore exhibit.
It tells you about all the future space
Oh,
programs.
I love this. All the different space suits going from the Mercury space suits, which these are the first guys, Alan Shepard, John Glenn, Gus Grisham, all those, going to the Gemini spacesuits, not Gemini, onto the Apollo ones. Probably the most recognizable ones. And then these look like just military shuttle ones, honestly.
Escape suits.
Escape ejection suits. Those are pretty cool. My favorite's the Apollo. So they have all these little interactive exhibits where you can see all the asteroids. My goodness, how do we not get hit more often than we do? This is like a live view of where they all are right now. Or you could go back in time to see where they were. It's pretty cool. Some big old rockets. And of course the Artemis, which is hopefully going to be launching Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this space blanket over there also. That thing is massive.
What do you think the scale is of that? Like what's 1-to-1 scale?
Oh my god, like a million? I have no idea. That's like huge here, but nothing compared to what it
I
actually
think
is.
it's like a 1 to 10 scale.
This is their new weather exhibit. Ooh, what is that thing going across?
Wind measure.
My goodness, they got everything up in here, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
There's the Doppler system. Well, this area is pretty cool. Yeah, I still don't really know what that thing is supposed to be. Caleb said something to do with the wind. Some lightning rods here. So this is a 3D representation of the largest hailstone ever recorded in Alabama. I don't think you'd survive if you got hit by that thing.
Absolutely.
So far, so good. The cows are doing good. A few little thunderstorms rolling in, but I think we're all right.
Sorry about looks of it. We have 4 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, according to the windows, it's starting to get a little cloudy. Oh no. The twisters are coming. There's hail. Oh, the cow, bless it. The cows have returned. We made it. We skipped over the Mars exhibit. Ooh. All red in here. So here shows all the places. The orbits they've had, like the satellites go around. These are the ones that have actually landed. Ones that have actually been mobile and explored. Just all over Mars. That's pretty cool. All the different rovers. So this is the first one they ever took to Mars. Little guy. Ain't he cute? Some of the bigger, more advanced ones. So this was the, what's it called again, this area?
Dare to explore.
Dare to Explore area. And then this over here is the Spark Lab, which is the kids area with a bunch of fun activities. I don't want to get too many kids on camera, but they do have a lot of fun activities over there for kids. And then this is Hypership, which is like a VR thing. Virtual roller coaster, which costs extra to do, but still a fun thing. Have you done this one before, Caleb?
What?
Have you done Hypership before?
No.
Ah. Thought you could give us your insight into it. Now we're heading into the next part here, which has some more fun things. This is the VR headset area. Also costs extra. And you can pay for the extra stuff here at Experiences. And then there's a max flight, which that's another. Is that kind of the same thing as hypership?
It's fly like a jet.
Oh, you get to control a jet. The exhibit talking about Miss Baker. Picture of her there. Her in the newspaper, and here's the capsule she wrote on. So this is talking about the ISS. This is Dan, according to Caleb.
This is the UAT tank, so this is where people
What does UAT stand
I
for?
have no idea.
Okay.
But anyways, I'm assuming it's like something aquatic tank, I don't know.
So it's all water in case it didn't show up good on camera. And I think, can't you pay to like scuba in here or
You
do
used to be able
something?
to, so you could pay like $135 a person. I think it was like crazy expensive, and you can come in here and like do like a space mission, but it feels like no gravity because you have water around you.
And then what is all this area?
ISS exhibit.
So this is supposed to represent the International Space Station.
Exactly.
And stuff like this, you see we're on a railing, but down there, if you come to space camp, this is some of the exhibits you learn and play around on. So you get to actually go in all this cool stuff, which we can't do. But if you want to come to space camp, that's some fun stuff to do. Gosh, look at the tank on that. So here we are in the International Space Station. Here's some stuff showing their food they eat. A cheesecake. Some of their med supplies. And of course everybody's favorite, a space toilet. It's a little space bed with their computers. Here you kind of act like you're doing stuff. All little buttons you can flip, open up, all the things, simulators and equipment that they use for the space campers. See, if you want to come to space camp, they accept all ages, and you get to do all this cool stuff here. Look at all the flags.
It's just food, and that's like what Pathfinder and all that is.
Right in this area is Gravity Grill. We're gonna grab lunch today. This is just where we were. So we just got our food from the Galaxy Grill. Caleb got a pizza and I got a burger. And look, the pizza's shaped like a moon. See, the pepperonis are supposed to be the craters. Isn't that unique for a pizza?
It's so out of this world.
It's crazy. And then like the tomatoes are shaped like the moon also. And even my burger is shaped like the moon. They did a good job with the space theme. So now we're heading to the rocket park, which is probably the main draw of this place. They have all the big rockets.
Really cool.
So cool. This is so trivial, but I love that their trash cans say space waste. It's one of my favorite little details. But we are right under the shuttle here. Ooh, that thing is big and built to scale. A big tank, I would say so. That thing is massive. So cool though. Look at that thing. I'll try to get under it for scale. So according to Caleb, you can walk around here and see the jets, but all these buildings are for like space camp. So you can't go in that building or that building. And then when they do space camp graduation, they actually hold graduation just right here under their shuttle. The Space Shuttle Park is dedicated to the crew of the Challenger. So it has all their names here. Most notable is probably Kristen McAuliffe, who is the teacher. But that's the little Challenger memorial they have here. It's a nice little picnic area they got with some of the string lights and the dogwood trees are blooming. I'm so happy it's going to be springtime again. Everything's turning green slowly but surely. This is the lunar lander area. It's another kids area. They have a little ride that goes up and down and some playground equipment slides. Again, I'm not going to go in there because there's kids, but that's a fun spot for the kiddos. Well, they've redone all this since I've been here. It looks super nice now. Rocket Park. I guess we'll go this way. Looks like a missile. Which these were all missiles at one time that were converted to rockets. There's the most recognizable one you see going down 565. FYI though, that is a replica. Was not actually used in space, but inside the Davidson Center over there is one that isn't a real one. So we're of course going to check that out once we get over here. But all this is new since I've been here. They got a nice little shaded area for you to eat. Just hang out. It's really nice. So here is the Wall of Honor. This just recognizes people that have worked at the Marshall Space Flight Center. Lots and lots of names. So this is one of the spots that I think is the coolest because it's made to look like the surface of the moon with the American flag and then the lunar lander there. Jeez, what kind of noise they got going on over there? Maybe they're testing some stuff. But legit looks like you're on the moon right here. Got craters and everything. Here they have the G-force accelerator, which if you ever been on one of those rides at the fair, the centrifuges that just go around and push you against the wall, that's what that is. Makes you feel the force of gravity. Actually really fun, but there's no way to film inside there, so I won't be able to show y'all the inside of it. So here we have a genuine moon tree, which is an apple tree. But the seeds that made this tree were actually flown aboard the space shuttle in space and brought back here and planted in the ground. And now we have our little moon tree right here by G-force. Here we have another ride called Moonshot. That's one that just shoots you up really fast and kind of bounces you a little and brings you down. Caleb said it takes like 3 to 4 people before they'll even let people on it, and we're here on a Monday, so there's nobody riding it. Otherwise, that'd be really fun. So here's the most recognizable part of the Rocket Center. That thing is so massive. You don't even realize until you're right up against it. And then this over here is the Davidson Center where they have a bunch of fun stuff to look at. Out here where the main rocket is.
Alright, get your B-roll.
The Saturn V. Gosh, that thing is massive. And then here they list all the different Apollo missions. Their badges. This is Apollo 11, the one that landed on the moon, which shows the Eagle landing, and the Eagle is the name of the lunar module. Look at that thing, guys. Wow! So these plaques all along the wall list all the Apollo missions and kind of breaks down each one. So we're starting with Apollo 1, which these are faded, need to be fixed, but it talks about the astronauts that lost their life in the fire in the cabin and they kind of burned up. And then going on to Apollo 2. Oh, look at the little footprints. That's cool. These are the actual footprints of some of the astronauts, including the famous Neil Armstrong. I'm just going to put my foot in there real quick.
You know what I was here?
No, I didn't. Look at his autograph. That's the coolest thing I've seen so far. My favorite movie, Apollo 13. Oh, there's their part of their shuttle that exploded. You can see the oxygen tank there that exploded. Speaking of Apollo 13, there's Mr. James Lovell's footprint and his autograph. I love these. These are my favorite things. Well, that was really cool. Now back to the Davidson Center. Oh yeah. We are at the main part here. So this is the one that is actually real. Now it has not been in space, but it was tested. It could go into space. They just never utilized it. But it's broken up into sections so you can see the different parts of it. But that is so cool. So they do have where you can meet a rocket scientist. Also meet astronauts sometimes and talk to them. Look at that rocket though, that's so cool. So Dr. von Braun was a Russian that they hired on to figure out how to develop, because these were essentially missiles, and they wanted to turn the missiles into rockets to get up into space, because that was the only thing with enough power to get up there. So they hired him on, and he pretty much figured out how to do the whole thing. And he lived here in Huntsville and worked here in Huntsville, and he was the rocket guy, which is why we are known as the Rocket City. Mr. von Braun's briefcase and some little notes he was working on there. There's him on Time magazine. So all down through here, like artifacts and just a timeline, all the way down there, just showing the development of the space program, which really is just a fascinating story. All this stuff, I just love stuff to do with early space flight. I think it's so interesting. It's an actual simulator they used during the Mercury missions. There's John Glenn at the simulator, and Gus, and Scott Carpenter. And there we have the first American in space, Mr. Alan Shepard. So this is a capsule of the Gemini one they would have taken up, and this was the first one to have 2 astronauts in it at the same time. The Mercury had 1, the Gemini had 2 astronauts, and then the Apollo had 3. Let's talk about building the engines, the brain power it takes to have figured all this out. These guys are just geniuses. This is one of my favorite parts, again, because I'm a space nerd, but this was the arm that kind of connected to the Saturn rocket, and the astronauts would walk across this to board the rocket. So every time I walk across, I just feel like an astronaut. Just, yeah, I'm gonna board this thing. Take off. Landed on the moon. The lunar rover to drive on the moon. Look at those wheels. This is another one of my favorite spots. This is the actual command module from Apollo 16. You can see the bottom of it. That's the reflection, but it's all burnt up from re-entry. But that's so cool that you can see it and look inside. She said this is the most expensive thing here. Oh, what is then?
The moon rock.
The moon rock's the most expensive thing?
That right there.
Yeah. Oh, but see, there's the bottom of the command module. You can see it got burnt up from re-entry, but that's super cool. And then according to Caleb, this is the most valuable thing, an Apollo 12 moon rock. They're really neat. A moon rock.
It only has like 3 different cameras watching it, and it's got like bulletproof, break-proof, and like fireproof glass around it, so that way nobody can get it.
It's like glass and then more glass inside.
And it's worth like I think 33 million.
Good grief. Well, it's not like you could just run to the corner store and pick one of these suckers up. The lunar shoes, and then this is what the inside of their pack look like that they wear on their back, all the hoses and oxygen and all that. This is really cool. This is hand cast of the Apollo 11 guys. So in the middle is Buzz Aldrin, over there is Armstrong, and then Michael Collins, their actual hands. Above the command module is the parachute that would have come out to kind of safely guide that back down to Earth. And again, I'm pretty sure that's the actual one that went with it. Yeah, there you can see the parachute and the actual parachute, and this is what was attached to the helicopters that would come and pick up the astronauts, put them on the helicopter and take them back to land. So here's a command module simulator where you could get inside and see what it looked like for those guys. I'm good. I don't think I'll be able to get back up again. So this is a quarantine facility for Apollo 12. When they got back from the moon, they were kind of quarantined in these for a few days just to make sure they didn't have any quote-unquote space germs on them. So the guys just kind of lived in here for a bit. We'll walk inside and see what else they had. Some Scrabble games going on. Microphone for them to do interviews. And there's kitchen area, bunk beds, bathroom back there. Some more little fun kids areas, a little lunar rover. So that was the Davidson Center. So now we're on our way to the Intuitive Planetarium to catch a show. So I will see you there. The planetarium. They also have an event here Thursday nights called Cocktails and Cosmos, where you get to watch a planetarium show, and then they have adult beverages that are themed to whatever the show is. So that's always a fun thing to come to.
Now that we're here, Mercury does look a little familiar though. What does it look like?
The moon.
It looks like the moon. And that's because both Mercury and the moon have something in common. They both lack an atmosphere. Meaning, when space rocks or space debris come hurtling through space, rather than burning up in its atmosphere, they make impact. And we can see the leftovers of these impacts in the form of craters on Mercury's surface. The other bit of bad news is while we may be inspired to drive across these rings, well, we wouldn't only have to worry about falling off the edges, but falling straight through. And that's because these rings are not solid, but instead made up of ice chunks, ranging from a grain of sugar to the size of mountains. And there's a couple of theories as to how these rings formed. One is that 2 moons, perhaps fighting over Saturn's attention, collided into each other to create the rings. The other is that a moon got a little bit too close to Saturn, maybe to profess its love. It ended up reaching the Roche limit, where it got torn apart via its own gravity as well as Saturn's. And that is to say, we are flying through the remnants of a moon's broken heart.
Alright guys, well that was it. The U.S. Space and Rocket Center with that glorious rocket behind me. This is one of my favorite spots in Huntsville. One of my favorite spots in Alabama, if I'm going to be honest, because as you can probably tell with all my facts I was throwing out on you, I'm a big space nerd. The space program, especially the early part of the space program, absolutely fascinates me. I love it so much. But anyway guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you like it, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time. Bye guys!